And today we have a very special speaker. To invite him, to introduce him, and to welcome him, we have the head of research, Dr. Alice David, ma'am, at our midst. Ma'am, may you.
Thank you, Jacob. I'm really excited to invite Dr. Biju P to this morning program of Quest. I just now got acquainted with him, and but I have a small write-up from which I can read, I suppose. Dr. Biju P is a veterinarian, and he's a native of Kottayam district, Kanyiripalli. He graduated from the College of Veterinary and Animal Science, Thrissur in 1992, and Masters in Veterinary Pathology in 1996 from the same college. He is a Secretary of Indian Veterinary Association, Kottayam, in 2008 and 2009. He was the President of IVA, Kottayam, in 2013, General Secretary in 2015, during which a website for Kerala Veterinary Science Congress was started. He was a district coordinator of Mission Rabies Project, a project intended complete rabies vaccination of dogs, including stray dogs, funded by UK-based NGO, Worldwide Veterinary Science in 2013. He has published more than 15 case reports in various journals, including international journals. His concept of flood-resistant portable livestock shelter has won 3rd prize in Yuva Mastermind competition by Malayalam Manorama, for which he was a co-mentor. He is a founder of NGO Friends of Animals Kottayam, and an animal welfare organization approved by Animal Welfare Board of India. After realizing his passion for animal welfare, he was invited by Battersea Academy for Dogs and Cats, London in 2019 for the training on dog rescue and rehoming. He is a member of Indian Association of Veterinary Pathologists and Worldwide Veterinary Services and Rotary International. His pilot project of converting water hyacinth into cattle feed in a very cost-effective manner was funded by Agriculture Technology Management Agency and got very good appreciation from different corners, including Planning Board of Kerala. He was selected for International Outstanding Research Award by International Society for Scientific Network for his paper, Hair Tourniquet of Penis in a Male Goat, published in Global Journal of Medical Research. So as you can see, he's very accomplished, and we are really excited to have you, and we are very excited to hear more from you. Welcome, Dr. Biju.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, madam, for introducing me. I'm sorry I have a sore throat. I may not be able to speak much loud. I'm really feeling proud and honored to be here in a platform like this. Thank you, Dr. Jacob, for inviting me. So this is the topic I would like to share with you. Translational research, you may be knowing. The research finding is directly communicated or transferred to the end beneficiary. Like all of us know that there are lots of research works happening in the field. If 100 research work happens, some 5 or 10 may be directly beneficial to the society. Other works may be just for academic interest or gaining some additional qualifications. But unless and until the general public or the common man is benefited from the research, there's no meaning in spending much money for research. That's what I feel. And as a government employee, I'm not supposed to do much research work, but it's just out of my passion and certain crises I faced as a veterinarian and as a farmer that forced me to do much research in the field. There are three pillars of translational research: bench side, bedside, and community. Bench side means the work happening in the laboratory. Bedside means it goes, the research finding goes to the end beneficiary and to the society. These are the things perhaps I have been invited here because these are the things I did for my department while I was working in the Arpukara Panchayat of Kottayam district, where I did much of my contributions. One was a farmer-friendly website called sunandini.com. Now it's not working because the funding was for a short period only, but it was a trial, and I found it very beneficial to the society because all of a sudden I could transfer lots of information to the public, and they were able to gain much information regarding the activities happening in my department. Second one was a color chart to farmers on hygienic milk production, because as you know, the dairy farmers are potent enough to destroy the entire society if they use medicines carelessly. I can share you the chart. So a color chart was distributed to almost 200 numbers of farmers. Third one was a data collection of all farmers engaged in AH activities, because that is also important as far as the public health is concerned. If a person is distributing milk to different houses, in case if some issues happen, the traceability is a major issue. Even if we want to go with legal procedures, there should be some evidences that who are all keeping animals and who are all handling different products. Segregation of biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste and production of organic manure. In a place like Kuttanad, you may be knowing that the soil and water get mixed up at any time, like the current situation in flood season. Different dangerous or potentially harmful materials get mixed up, and it reaches everywhere, and knowingly or unknowingly we are forced to consume all such dangerous products. So if a segregation of proper segregation of such materials is possible, we can reduce the outcome to a certain extent. Then regular training and follow-up for farmers involved in AH activities. Another one was the polyhouse cultivation of Azolla for year-round production. Then eco-friendly and predator-proof poultry cage adhering to the norms of Animal Welfare Board of India. Economic utilization of water hyacinth, like Madam mentioned, as livestock feed with the help of farmer group. Regular distribution of vitamin and mineral supplements to selected farmers under strict supervision and proper documentation. This is one of my dream projects I tried to implement in Arpukara. Like I mentioned, during flood season, it's very difficult for the dairy farmers to keep their animals. One thing, their cattle shed gets inundated. There will not be any feed available for a period until the water is receded. Moreover, transportation of the products and the cleaning of cages will be very difficult during flood season. So my idea was to keep more number of young animals, grow them, prepare them until they receive an age of calving or ready to breed, so that before reaching flood they can dispose of the animals. So at the time of flood there won't be any animals, so there won't be any waste issues. After the water level is receded, they can again start keeping young animals until the next flood. So there won't be any difficulty for the farmers and the animals during the flood season. And the inputs for the animals will be from the same place itself, like the various fodder varieties available to them as exotic invaders. I shall mention them in detail. The project intends to make use of the nutritious fodder plants available here and fed to female calves so that cost of rearing is reduced. This ensures increased number of ready-to-breed breed bar cow heifers in the panchayat. This was the color chart I prepared. I distributed this to 200 farmers. There are 10 points. These are the 10. I just told them that I have 10 commands to tell you. If you keep all these things perfectly, I can make sure that I can do the best things for you, and you will be able to produce 100% healthy products from your animals. One is, I think you can follow Malayalam, right? One is about the scientific rearing, to make it economical. That scientific rearing is to be implemented. Then the kind of feeding should be proportionate to the health of the animal and the production. Then there should be availability of water every time. That shed and premises should be kept clean always. This is an issue every time our livestock farmers face, because one man will be keeping animals and selling milk to 25 families. The man just staying close to him may not be having animals or purchasing milk from this man, but out of severe smell and fly issues around his premises, the second person will be in horrible trouble always, and he'll be going on giving complaint to the public health department and panchayat. This is a common issue as veterinarians we face in the field. So if they can keep the premises clean to a certain extent, we can avoid such issues. Then the different prophylactic vaccinations the department implement is to be utilized. Then the health of, the milking is to be made scientifically. The animals having more production should be milked using milking machine. The waste from the shed should be disposed of in a proper manner away from the shed. The flies and other ectoparasites should be controlled using ectoparasiticide medicines having less side effects. Then, while incorporating new food materials, they have to take care that it should not be incorporated in a higher level initially. Then this is the polyhouse rearing of Azolla. Actually, Azolla is a symbiotic plant of a fern and alga. It's rich in protein, and it can be consumed by any species, including ourselves. It's rich in protein. We can make cutlet and other delicacies with Azolla. Usually the tank, like I showed in the earlier picture, previous picture, this is a traditional way of rearing Azolla, producing Azolla. But the tank is kept open, and there is every chance of it to get damaged due to dead leaves falling inside this, or tree branches, or our domestic fowls will be just jumping into this and destroying it, or crows may come and take bath in this. Sometimes due to rain, it may get overflooded and the Azolla may get wasted. So if you can provide a roof, all these issues can be solved. And an additional benefit I found after making a polyhouse is that you can see the dead leaves falling on top instead of falling inside. I got a few media coverage also after doing this. There was increased yield because that all these ferns, you may be knowing that in our wells, drinking wells, you can see ferns growing inside. The ferns grow whenever there is increased moisture. So if you give a cover to this Azolla, there will be increased moisture inside, and that almost a humid chamber we will be creating, and so there will be increased growth. So there will be, with the limited space, we can produce more quantity of Azolla. There will be less wastage of water due to evaporation, because we are using a cover, so the water won't get evaporated, and there will be year-round availability, because there will not be any overflowing or drying up. This is another one that segregation I told, that of segregation of biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste materials. I made a tank with this. This is the process of the dead leaves and the cow dung getting mixed and covered with a gunny bag, so that by some 30 days it get digested and we'll get a very good manure from this. In Kuttanad, actually, we are also one among the group of people generating more waste as part of our profession, because we use various ways like full arm polythene gloves, the plastic sheath we use for artificial insemination, and so many things. So I just taught my staff to segregate this and fill it in different plastic bottles along with some sand, so that it will become very firm. So instead of bricks, we can use such bottles. And with that bottles, we can make a tank. And inside the tank, we started preparing manure, adding cow dung along with this. This is the AI sheath, artificial insemination sheath. We started using, I started applying artificial insemination way back in 1970. So until for that last 40, 50 years, we are using the same technology. And for every insemination, we use one straw and one sheath and one full arm glove. So if a person is using doing 10 inseminations per day, just imagine the quantum of waste we are disposing of per day or in a month. So this is the sheath. We can just fold it and fill it in the bottle. This is the full arm glove. So with all these filled in bottles, we made a tank, and this is a manure we got after 1 month. We started tried a vegetable cultivation also. We got a very good result. The one standing on the right side is the agriculture officer who was working with me that time. Another is the mechanized goat shed. Goat is known as the poor man's cow because it's a miniature form of the cow. And for ladies in rural areas, it's a very good source of income for them, because it's very easy to keep a goat and generate income. Actually, a goat is almost equivalent to gold, because at any time they can convert it into cash. But there are sort of lots of issues. Actually, goats doesn't need much care, like much space or much expensive shelters. But the issue with the goat is that if you keep them inside a shed and give grass, they'll try to waste a considerable quantity of grass. So one lady working in keeping goat in Kottayam, one day approached me and told she has an issue of, she has 20 goats and she will be bringing 2 big bundles of grass. But unfortunately, one big bundle goes wasted just because of the habit of goat wasting the fodder. So I just developed a design of the one like we see in the picture. It's almost like a keyhole shape. So when the goat put the head through the hole on top and try to take the grass by lowering its head, it can just simply pull its head back. So there won't be any wastage, because otherwise, if they bite the grass and turn back with the grass, and if they see something, they'll just drop the grass. So that's how the wastage happens. So if this is the design, there won't be any wastage. She was after we gave this design to her, she was telling now she just brings one bundle, and one bundle is enough. So she can save her time and avoid wasting grass. This is the inside view of the that manger. Is called manger. The place where we keep grass for the animals is called manger. So 10 goats can eat the grass at the same time without any wastage. And this is portable also, that we can shift this manger to another place also. This is another cage for the poultry. This having almost all the facilities like a bird is feeding outside the cage. Like there is enough space for it to perch, spread its wings. There is availability of feed and drinking water all the time. And for to give a coconut touch to the design, there is a tray at the top, at the bottom, just to prevent the droppings from falling down to the water or soil to contaminate the surroundings. This cage we can keep openly because there is a roof. If we already have a roof, there is no need of that first design. So this like in places where we have a truss work, we can keep this cage inside because there is no roof is needed. This also having all the facilities I mentioned. This is a working model of flood-resistant portable livestock shelter. Like Madam mentioned, that won the Yuva Mastermind Award of Malayalam Manorama. Here also you can see the cage, the keyhole shape of the manger. This is made of locally available bamboo roof you can see. The other materials are all polycarbonates and FRP, fiber reinforced plastic. This is the roof, floor. There's provision for the droppings to fall down. So there are goats are so comfortable inside. This on the first day itself. You know, so just see how comfortable they are inside the cage. This is the provision to collect the dung and urine because that won't go outside. The end cap at the left extreme side is to collect the urine. These are the materials used for the cage. There are different models available. The floating technique was with the help of empty disposable bottles because there are almost 1,200 bottles were used because otherwise those bottles was wasted. So we used that one for making the airspace. This is a common picture of Kuttanad. Whenever we see the picture of Vembanad Lake, we can't get a single frame without either the water hyacinth or the other grass variety. That the one we can see at the center is called the Kadagal in local language, and scientifically it's a wild variety of paragrass, a grass that is totally resistant to flood. It's known as scientifically it is known as Ishimum travancorens, a variety of grass belonging to Travancore area. This is another site of our common rivers in Kuttanad. So my concept was actually in Kanjirappalli when I was keeping few cattle, I had the issue of not getting grass during drought season. But at the same time, lots of grass and plants like water hyacinth this year-round available in Kuttanad, but it goes wasted or create lots of issues in Kuttanad, like this water hyacinth and the Kadagal together form a floating island in many places of Kuttanad, and where on that island that rat used to make nests and go on breeding. So there will be every chance of leptospirosis happening. So if people are given a chance to collect this water hyacinth and process them, they will get a steady income from them, and naturally there will be a solution to the issue. So that was my concept, and I could fortunately work it out and get my authorities convinced. This is a nutritional analysis, may not be much used to you. Anyway, the water hyacinth is rich in protein. That's the added advantage of adding water hyacinth to the feed of cattle. And the Kadagal, the local grass variety I mentioned, is rich in crude fiber. So that helps to make quality fat in the milk of cattle if you give Kadagal to cattle. So this is a nutritional analysis. So if you want to feed cattle, you can give any food, any material to cattle. Only 4 things we have to take into consideration. One is availability. Second is cost, because we can't give too much costly items. Then palatability, the taste is a major factor, and it should not be there should not be any toxic material inside the plant or the material. So if the material is available in plenty, if it is cheap, and if it is palatable, and it's safe, we can give any food to cattle. These are all parts of the project. This the Kodimada boat landing area. You can see how occluded the river is. This is the progress of my work. The water hyacinth collected is removed. The roots are removed, and the plant is the stem is chopped into smaller pieces. It's dried. Some 20% of moisture is retained, and then it is ensiled. Ensiling, there is almost a kind of pickling. When a fodder is available in plenty, we can use the ensiling technique, and so that we can use it in the dry period. The initial risk was whether after preparing all this, if it is palatable or not. If it is not palatable, then the thing will go wasted. So I just tried with a small quantity, and I fed it to one of the farmers' animals. I just tried whether it is palatable to all. So I tried to feed them together. So I got a very good result. All the animals were very voraciously eating the prepared samples. So I was so happy to see them. So then I went to the scaling up process, and I prepared food for 50 calves for 6 months, and gave me very good result. These are all the ladies who associated with the project. This is a part of a project that a 6-month-old calf was given the feed. This is the ensiled water hyacinth. It looks almost, it's having a golden color and a very attractive smell, like smell of jaggery. So immediately the animal will start eating if it is given. But the issue is the molasses, the ensiling process is just because of the fermentation happening inside the chamber where we keep the materials. So just after the fermentation process, there will be some acid production inside, so that there will be pH lower in pH, so that the ensiled mass will be having a pH of 3 to 4. So that may cause acidosis in animals. So we have to be very careful while feeding. We can't give the ensiled feed alone. We have to mix it with either straw or green grass. Then only the digestion will be proper, and we can avoid acidosis in animals. This is another attempt I made in the Panchayat. After giving enough training to hygienic milk production and producing value-added products, I made a farmer group called Alpha. They were given various responsibilities on hygienic milk production and transferring the knowledge to other farmers who are not in the group. That was very good work that had happened that time. This is whey actually. You may be knowing that it's a fluid portion of the milk after it is coagulated. The casein and fat goes to the solid portion called the paneer, and the watery portion with the casein is known as the whey. Is ideal for all category of people, especially those who are physically weak, like kids and old people. It's very ideal for including in the diet. This is another milk product called Haldi Badam. Another trial I did was on enrichment of the local grass variety, the Kadagal I mentioned, because Kadagal is only rich in fiber, no other nutrients. So if you chop the grass and mix it with minerals and then dry it and then pack it, we can supply it to the entire state if needed. So the Kutanad is potent enough to provide that much quantity of fodder to the dairy farmers. So we gave a chaff cutter to the farmers on subsidy basis. The Panchayat President and Vice President are distributing the first bag of fodder. This is the mineral mixture we added. While giving mineral mixture to the farmers, we also kept a card in the hospital so that we can make sure that they are giving the prescribed quantity in the prescribed period, and also how alert they are in following the instructions we gave. Because if you are giving the distribution, if you are distributing it on 10th of December, he is supposed to come again on 10th of January. So almost all of them were coming on time and following our advices. So that was also a very good result of the project. This was a mineral mixture, calcium supplement we gave to the dairy farmers. This is the fly repellent spray. This is actually a herbal spray without much harmful effect. This is another project we did, the distribution of predator-proof cages to 40 farmers. The farmer group were given the responsibility of checking the quality because they are the one going to use in their houses. So if some defect is there in the construction, they will have to face the issue. So I entrusted them to take care of the construction at every stage, and that was also a very good experience because all the cages were very good and there were no much negative effects for the cage. In this cage, we can keep 10 birds. There is enough space, and there will not be any health issues after keeping the birds in these cages. These are the milk products. These are actually, this is not part of a project like our former Indian President APJ Abdul Kalam sir mentions every time, if we dream every time we can make wonders. This is out of something I dreamt. One person one day came to my house with a paralyzed dog, puppy. He told he saw it in the roadside, maybe run over by some vehicle. He asked me for my help. I just tried, I'll try, and for 2 or 3 weeks I spent sleepless nights to make a cart for the puppy. His name was Motu, and ultimately I could develop a design because these carts are available everywhere online or in abroad. There are carts available, but the cost goes to at least 7,500 or something like that. So I thought of a cost-effective cart. And ultimately, I made this. This his first day on his cart. This is the fellow. So he was fitted with the cart, but the next challenge was to make him move because he doesn't know how to move. So I just showed a piece of food in front of him, and when I started moving the food in my hand, he started chasing the food. So he learned the technique of moving inside moving with the cart. There are provisions to change the length and other dimensions, so it won't be much tight around his chest, and it's very light also. This is a craft made of our disposable IV fluid containers. This is the one I got media and international acceptance, that the hair tourniquet of penis. One person one day bought a male goat saying that it's not urinating, it's not properly voiding its urine. But when I checked, I found urine is coming out, but it's very slow. It is coming as drops. So I just usually in male goats it's an issue of calculi. So initially I approached this as a calculi, but when I checked this urine, I didn't find any crystals in that, but only RBCs were there. So that was a totally strange finding. And then I thought maybe because some cystitis, because in animals the issue is we can't make the diagnosis too much expensive, because the economy is a major factor for animal owners. If I recommend some diagnostic procedure that costs around 5,000 or 10,000, that equals the cost of animals. So he'll try to dispose of the animal. So it's a challenge to make the cost of treatment as low as possible. So I just went on doing other examinations. Couldn't get much improvement. So one day again I asked him to bring the goat. I just gave him a nerve block and checked his penis. Then I found this ring around the tip of almost near the tip of the penis. We can see the color change. The one at the right side is reddish, and the one at the left side is almost bluish. Means that circulation is almost getting cut off and it's getting detached. So that was because of the hair tourniquet. It happens when the male goat mounts. It searches the female genitalia with the penis alone. Like it's not possible otherwise. So it searches the genitalia with the erected penis, and the penis touches the female body on both sides. So when the penis is withdrawn, the hair adhered on the penis becomes like a band, and it gets adhered, and it gets tightened around the penis, and such a tourniquet is formed. This was the tourniquet I removed after giving the nerve block. And this was another interesting case I came across quite recently, almost 4 or 5 months ago. This is the muscular stomach of a duck. The muscular stomach is called gizzard. It's equivalent to our teeth. When the ducks eat food, however hard it is, it ultimately reaches the gizzard and it gets crushed there. The gizzard musculature moves in such a way that it moves longitudinally in clockwise and anti-clockwise directions, and that material gets crushed along with materials called grit or stone that the birds ingest just to crush the feed. So one duck casually ingested a pin, a very sharp pin, almost 3 centimeters long. It went inside. It got lodged inside the musculature. It got encapsulated, but it didn't make any pathological changes inside the digestive tract. It was almost very safe inside the gizzard musculature. Later on, when it had some other issues along with 2 or 3 ducks. When it died, I just conducted a postmortem, and it was noticed as a casual finding. I'm just sharing because this is the first report of foreign body getting encapsulated, and life was saved just because of the encapsulation. This was a sharp pin. Actually, this our common motosuji. I was just wondering how a duck can ingest a 3 centimeter long this pin, and it goes directly inside the gizzard without causing any damage to the other parts. That's the encapsulation, that fibrous tissue covering the encapsulated area. This was another congenital deformity I came across in a kid. This condition is called microtia. 1 ear is normal, and one was almost half the length of the normal ear is microtia. There was another issue also in this kid. There was a cleft palate, the hard palate. There you can see the cleft. And this is a wonderful team who stood with me to make at least presentations like this or achievements like I mentioned. I'm extremely thankful to them. That's all. Thank you. I don't know how my presentation or something that I did in animal husbandry sector will be going to help those in medical field, but I'm really confident that in an era where One Health is gaining more importance, together we can do lots of things for the society, especially the irresponsible use of antibiotics. Whoever use it, is going to make lots of serious deleterious effect to the society. Like I mentioned earlier, a dairy farmer, if he sells 10 liters of milk to a hotel, especially if the hotel is near our medical college, hospital, or wherever it is, this hotel person can make 200 tea out of 10 liters of milk. And if 200 people are consuming the tea, if there is antibiotic inside, unknowingly the 200 people are consuming an antibiotic. Whenever we give antibiotic to a cow, we used to recommend, used to give them the advice that you should not take the milk, you should discard the milk. Second day, when there is improvement, because for mastitis, that inflammation of the udder, we have to give a medicine that reaches the udder safely. Then only the microbes inside the udder will be destroyed. But if the animal is having 10 liters of milk and all the quarters will be yielding 2.5 liters each, this poor man may think, why should I waste the 10.5 liters just because only one quarter is affected? So even if we recommend him not to use the milk, second day when he finds the improvement, he will start using the milk from the other 3 quarters. So that's the quantum of antibiotic use happening knowingly or unknowingly in AI sector. And as and when I get opportunity, I used to tell the farmers that you should not use antibiotics unnecessarily, because there are some people, they may think that there is infection and they may approach the medical shop people and procuring antibiotics and start giving. Actually, there is no use. Sometimes there is no antibiotics will be needed. There may be some slight edema only. You can, with some external application, we may be able to cure the condition. That's the quantum of damage that's going to happen if a dairy farmer is carelessly using antibiotics. So such things are there. So there lies the importance of the farmer registration. Now we have a farmer registration portal. Every farmer is to be registered. If he wants to get some subsidy or some financial help from the department, he should be a registered farmer. So there will be, without his consent, he will be a registered farmer, and there will be a traceability possible. So FSSA and other such agencies can, even if they want to take actions, quite possible. So such things are there. So together, I believe that we will be able to do something very good for the society, and discussions like this will be able to help both of us in future to do something very good for the public. So thank you once again for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Biju. That was very interesting presentation, and you're very conscious of the environment, we see, and you have come up with so many innovative ideas. I wonder if you have published all these things. Few of them, okay. So all worth publishing. I think the whole world should know about what you have done, and we are very happy to be acquainted with you, and the way you think about coming up with new ideas. I'm sure it would have inspired our people to think of similar ideas for humans also, Thank you very much. And if anybody has a question, we can take one question, I think, one or two.
Thank you, sir. Highly inspired by your talk and all the wonderful things you are doing. Really thanking God what one person can do with what God has given him. Really impressed. Just have one question. When you dry this hyacinth, which is a water plant, it contains a lot of moisture. So won't you have a problem of fungal infection when you store it?
Actually, we dry it under shadow for 2 days. The moisture level is reduced to 20%. And immediately after that, we'll be going for ensiling. No, no, we will not be storing the dried hyacinth as such. After drying, immediately we will be going to the ensiling process. Otherwise, there will be fungal issues. And another thing is that this is a wonderful plant actually. You know, the root of this plant is capable of absorbing heavy metals. So there won't be any heavy metals inside the plant. Out of my curiosity, I just tried whether there is some heavy metals inside. I sent it to QSAT. They gave me the result that almost all the heavy metals are below detectable levels. So this is a wonderful plant. We can even for separating heavy metals from fluid, we can use the root. So this is such a wonderful plant. So ensiling, when we go ahead, there won't be any fungal growth, and we can keep it for any long period.
Any other questions? So thank you so much, Biju sir, for coming over. And how one problem, one lack of something and the abundance of something which becomes a problem can be linked together to solve multiple problems. Truly inspiring. How the lack of fodder during drought season, you linked it up to the availability of too much of water plants in Kuttanad, and that further becomes a problem by creating the rat nuisance and rat breeding and difficulty in the waterways. So you're solving the problem there, and also you're solving the problem here, and such a blessing to the society at large. So I think definitely our students and our faculty can take a leaf out of your book in their own areas and try solutions, ingenious solutions for different problems at hand. So thank you so much for coming. It's a great privilege that you were able to come. So can we all give a good round of applause to Biju sir. Continue your good work, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. So have a good day, folks. Thank you.